Hello there, friends. It looks like we're live, but I am going to just one, wait for the actual YouTube link to catch up with me. There always is a little bit of delay. And two, we're going to give it about 5 minutes before we start so people can find us, all of that fun stuff. All right, there we are live. Now, my background looks a little bit differently. I am uh, working remotely from my in-laws house in Texas. So it's a little bit different of a look in my backdrop. So I am working on my phone's hotspot. So far, it says excellent connection. Everything looks good. But keep in mind, it is a phone hotspot and I am in rural Texas. So if we have a couple of little internet blips here and there, just bear with me. I am sure that it will work itself out. There is Pinkfresh Studio. So it is Kinnery behind the scenes today moderating for us. Heather is on vacation with her girls in Hawaii, so she's getting some nice time off. But we are excited for you guys to be here for another Tuesday card making live, and I'm excited to be creating something with you. I need to turn my hot foil system on because we are going to be doing a bunch of hot foiling for our card today, and I think it's going to turn out lovely. Yes, it is hot in Texas. You may notice I have a fan blowing on me. Hopefully Zoom is muting that and it's not too loud, but doing everything I can to not overheat. I'm also surrounded by windows, which is awesome. It's great for light and everything, but it definitely gets a little hot. So doing doing pretty good with the fan. All right, so let's go over all of our housekeeping stuff before we get going. We do have to wait for my hot foil system to heat up anyway. So we have a little bit of time. And yes, Kinnery was in the US. She's back in Dubai, so she is dealing with a little bit of jet lag, friends. So if she has to pop out, that's okay. I will take care of all of the stuff at the end if Kinnery needs to step out from moderating. But she will be here while she can. Okay, a couple things. We give away a $15 gift card code at the end of every live. All you have to do to be entered for your chance to win that gift card code is just do what you're currently doing. Chat with us in the live chat. You can ask questions. I may not see all of the questions, but so bear with me on that one, but I do my best. Kinnery will also answer all that she sees and can as well. And if you know the answer to someone's question, please feel free to answer it as well. This is not only about crafting, it's also about connecting and having some social time with fellow crafters as well. So every chat, every comment that you leave in the chat is an entry into the giveaway. Now, underneath the video, there's a little button, has an arrow, it says share. Click on that and share somewhere, whether you share to Facebook, Instagram, maybe you have like a crafty email that you share with friends. Share that, come back here, let us know in the comments that you shared, and that's just an extra entry. And then finally, this isn't for any giveaway or anything, but something that's super helpful on these videos is if you could give it a thumbs up. That helps the videos reach both now and while it's on replay. And we would love to try to find other crafters out there who maybe haven't heard of Pinkfresh Studio yet. So thank you guys so much for doing that for us. We do really appreciate it. And be sure to share and all that fun stuff. We're still waiting on my hot foil system to heat up. So I'm going to keep it front facing for a moment. I see lots of you joining us and saying hi. Hi, friends. I'm kind of going to give a big blanket hello right now while I'm front facing. I won't see as much. I won't see as much once I start creating. Now, oh, Terry Daniel reminded me, if you are new here and you have never participated in a Pinkfresh Studio live stream, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Let us know you're a first timer. We'd love to welcome you. Welcome, Terry. So glad that you found us, and we hope that you keep coming back. Anna, I think that depends on how you ink blend. I will say the large brushes, which are awesome, by the way, I do have been dealing with a little bit of a repetitive motion injury, and they really have helped me blend a little bit quicker so that I'm not having to take as long and um not irritating that repetitive motion injury. But I do think it depends on the way that you ink blend. So I find that they're easier on my wrists and my hands, but I think that's something that you may have to test out. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. Hi, friends. So glad you are joining us. Welcome, Sherry, to your first live. So happy that you found us. And hello to Lori joining for the first live in months. So happy that you're here. Okay, one more disclaimer while my hot foil system is finishing up, heating up. I am in a temporary workspace. So I am on like a folding table. So I'm going to try to avoid shaking it as much as possible, but there probably will be some times that happens, and I'm just going to apologize now for that because I know that shaking motions can sometimes give a little bit of that motion sickness feel. I'm going to do my best, but I'm sure there will be some times when the table shakes a little bit, and I do apologize. I am going to minimize it as much as I possibly can, though. Okay, friends, my hot foil system is heated up, so I'm going to go ahead, get my camera switched around, and let's start creating together. Okay, there we are. All right, today, let me move this over a little bit. Today I'm going to hot foil two designs. So I am going to use the arch from our latest Kindness in Bloom release, the Blooming Arch set. And then I'm going to pair it with a sentiment from our previously released Here For You sentiments. This was in the release the month before this one. So two relatively new products that I'm featuring today. The sentiment included in Blooming Arch is lovely, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit and do a little bit of both. I will mention all of the products that I am using today are linked in the video description. So if you want easy access to everything I'm using today, just jump in there and you will find links to everything. All right, I am going to go ahead and get this going. So I'm going to put the arch in there first. I'm going to foil these at the same time. And then I'm going to foil my sentiment. I am choosing the You Are Always Loved. I'll just tuck it there in the arch. It will be protected from the stencils. And then I have to hit the timer button. And once this timer button stops flashing, that's when we know we are good to hot foil. Now, for those of you that don't hot foil or better press, I will mention that there is a coordinating cling stamp for the Blooming Arch set. And then there is a coordinating clear stamp for the Here For You sentiments as well. So you definitely have options in these if you're not quite into hot foiling or letterpress yet. For today, I am using the blush foil. Ooh, my little fan is making that go everywhere. That's okay. This is one of my favorite colors of foil apart from Aura, which is probably like my go-to favorite there. But I think it's going to look really pretty on this background today. So we're going with a nice blush color. And Louise, I am happy to hear that about the brushes and having a great time at our hot foil event. That is fantastic news. Okay, but I need to arrange my desk a little bit here. So I don't have the biggest surface to work on. So I'm just going to move some stuff out of my way. And I am going to get my Spellbinders Platinum 6 on here. You probably won't get to watch every part of this just because I have a smaller desk area, but I'm going to do my best to show as much of it as I can. Now I am using my old hot foil system. It's the one that I travel with. So I still do this with my new one that is even a little bit easier to release. This is kind of one of the first versions of the hot foil system, and the platform is a little hard to remove from the base. So rather than pile the sandwich on there and then remove it, I'm actually going to do that first so that I don't run the risk of making my foiling kind of halo or shift on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that first. I am going to add the foil pretty side down over top of those hot plates and then put my cardstock over top. This is 100-pound smooth cover cardstock from Hammermill. I found it's basically my favorite for both hot foiling and ink blending. So I use it pretty exclusively for card making. So once I add the sandwich pieces to the top, I'm just going to gently run it through my Platinum 6. I only feel the need to run it through the one way. I don't really feel the need to go back and forth. Our press plates get a great impression whether you are using it on a better press or for foiling. And I always feel like if you run it backwards, you run the risk of that shifting again. So let's do the big reveal. Let's peel away that stunning foil. And oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Yes, and Kinnery pointed out that Hammermill is also very budget friendly, and it definitely is. So that is another reason why I am super partial to it. All right, friends, for the sake of time, I am just going to put the negative piece aside and I will solid foil it later. But because my desk space is small and we kind of have to clean and move things as we go, I think I'm going to just not do the solid foiling live. I don't plan on using it anyway, so I will just do that a little bit later when I have a little bit more time. So we are done foiling. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my hot foil system on. I will just let those foil plates cool on it, and I'm just going to set it off my desk so it's a little bit out of my way. You're welcome, Valerie. I'm glad you have gotten some tips here for that. Okay. Oh, look at how beautiful that is, friends. I just love it. Okay, I am going to get my desk ready here to ink blend with the coordinating stencils. I want to make sure we've got a nice, good angle for you guys to see everything, but also so I can reach it. Oh, thank you, Alicia. You know, I did pretty good. I've kind of got, I go to a couple craft retreats a year with some crafty friends. And I go to some monthly craft days and such as well. So I've gotten pretty good at packing things and trying not to overpack. Now, of course, working for 2 weeks is a little bit different, but I think I have it nailed pretty good. I didn't overpack, but I brought enough stuff that I knew I might need to use. So, but I like that it allows me to my husband and I to come visit my in-laws so we can help out his mom and such like and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth it, even though it is a long drive and it it does, you know, it is a little bit to set up a whole space, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, so we need the stencils first for I'm trying to figure out where to put things. There we go, put them right there. All right, so we need the stencils first. This is a 4-piece stencil set, but I am not going to use stencil number 1. I don't want to color in the arch at all. I want to keep those nice crisp foiled lines. And then other than that, I just really want to keep that arch white. So I'm going to omit those stencils. I'm just going to do stencils 2 through 4. Something to keep it, just something to think of. You don't always have to use every single stencil when you're blending in your images. It's a great way to give some added versatility to your products. So just something to think of. So I am going to grab stencil number 2 here and get it lined up. It lines up super easily, but it is dainty. So definitely take the time to get that nice and lined up with all of those dainty little branch areas. Oh, Elise, Yes, it's such a great place to tuck in a little sentiment, right? And then it's protected and it's protected from the stencils, but it's a great way to get an extra foiled sentiment in there as well. You know, I'm frugal. I don't waste paper. So if I can tuck a sentiment in there, I'm gonna do it. I probably actually could have been a little bit more frugal and gotten two in there, but you know what? I didn't think about it, so it's okay. No worries. Okay. Sorry if my face pops in here a little bit. I just want to make sure I have this lined up really well. Oh, we love to hear that, Darcel. Hi, Barb. All right, so there we go. So for the vines, I am going with browns. I am going to use Warm Buff and Gather Twig. So I'm going to start with one of, I'm using I'm getting to break in a new brush live. I haven't ink blended brown with one of the large brushes yet. So I'm excited to do that. You may be wondering, like, why on earth am I using a big brush for such small areas? And I'll show you why I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to get a little bit of Warm Buff into here. What I love about these big brushes is they allow me to get color into the areas quickly. So even if you're using them for a small area, they allow me to get that base color in nice and quickly. It's not taking me ages to blend in. And I love that. Now, if I get a little bit of blending outside the lines, I'm not too worried about it. We're going to cut this away. So not a big deal. That's going to just become recycling or garbage in the end after we cut all of that away. So the big brush allows me to get that base color in. But now I'm going to come in with Gathered Twigs, which is a darker, deeper shade of brown, and I'm going to use one of our smaller brushes. This is the 1/2 inch, and I'm going to come in with that deeper brown and just deepen the color where I see fit. But I don't want to do that everywhere. I kind of want to shade deeper from the base, but then leave a little bit of the area lighter toned. So that allows me to do this. Mm. And there we go. I think we'll call that good. Oh, Sherry, I get that. I mean, even in my 40s, you know, getting older is harder. So definitely we like to be here to help when we can. Okay. Sorry, I know, shaking. I apologize, friends. I'm going to do my best to minimize that, but it it might just have to happen. And look at that. Look at the beautiful gradation we got there. Um, nice, a little bit lighter tones, deeper at the bases. And I love that. I love that the big brush allowed me to add that lighter color in really quite easily. And then the smaller one allowed me to add all of that detail. Nice. Kinreeve is chatting about the fact that we were smart about the big brushes and we stocked way more than we normally would and then had more coming in behind it. So they've been huge sellers. We are thrilled with the excitement and how much everybody's loving our big brushes. They were definitely a labor of love. We rejected a bunch of samples until we found the one that we really, really loved. So we hope that you are loving them as much as we are. All right, stencil number 3 is the cute, tiny little leaves. I am actually going to do a very similar technique that I just did. So we need my greens. We're going to do eucalyptus and spruce tips for my greens. Now I have a brush for the Green Gables. It looks like I used a little bit of a darker tone the last time. So I'm going to do a quick clean on these. And the way that I do that is I have a dry lint-free cloth I'm just going to spritz it a couple times with some rubbing alcohol. And then I'm just going to buff the top of the brush into that isopropyl alcohol. Now, it doesn't really get rid of all the color, but I know that if I used Spruce Tips or Lush Forest on this brush, it's not going to contaminate my eucalyptus, which is a lighter color. Okay, so feel confident to use eucalyptus. I'm going to do something very similar to that last one. I am going to get some eucalyptus on my brush, and we're going to softly blend in all of the leaves. I am really truly just barely kissing the surface of that ink pad to get ink in there because I don't want to go super dark on these. So Catherine is asking how to clean the stencil. I clean my stencils the same way. Catherine, is I just spritz each stencil down with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and then just buff them clean with a dry cloth. So then they're dry and you can use them immediately or put them away. I love that part. I love cleaning that way so that I don't have to wait for them to drip dry. But if cleaning with rubbing alcohol is not your thing, you can also take them to a sink and just clean them in some warm water with a gentle soap like Dawn or something along those lines. All right, then I'm going to come in with Spruce Tips and we are going to add just a little gradation here and there. We're going to go crazy, but just a little bit. Cute set. But these leaves are pretty teeny tiny. That is my in-law's cute little Yorkie. I'm not sure what he's barking at. There's nobody out there. Not sure if you can hear him or not, but if you can, he's just saying hello. You friends, I'm glad you're enjoying the colors. I'm excited to add the little flowers to it. We're going to do a couple of different colors of flowers on this. I think it's going to be super fun. They're super delicate. So on these, when you're adding your gradation, just take a little bit of time. They are pretty small. This would be great for the 1/4-inch brushes too, the little teeny tiny ones, but I didn't bring those ones with me on the trip. So you're making do with the 1/2 inch. I only had so much room. But this would be a great option for using those tiny, tiny brushes that we have as well. You might be a little bit more accurate. Oh, I love that. I just happened to look up at the comments and saw Teresa ordered 9 boxes of the big brushes and they've arrived and she's using them. So that's awesome. Like, we love to hear that. I think that's so fun. All right, try not to shake my desk all over the place here so I don't make y'all motion sick. Okay, so are we ready to see how the leaves look with the vine? Oh my goodness. It's looking like starting to look like a fairy tale. I love it. So I chose True Greens. I've already created a card with this set where I used aqua for the greenery. So I did choose to go with True Green on this one, just to give a little bit of difference. And I'm loving how it looks so far. All right, we have one stencil left. And it is those tiny little flowers. Okay. Get that stencil taped into place here. Oh, Louise, that is awesome to hear. Louise said, blending brushes have boosted her enjoyment of stamping with every project a success. That is awesome. Love to hear that. Okay, and it looks like Kinnery addressed the watercolor. It looks like it's going to still be a couple, 2 to 3-ish months as we sort out watercolors with our supplier. So good little update there for everybody. We appreciate your patience on that. We are as disappointed as you are that all this happened. So thank you for hanging in there with us. Okay, for my cute little flowers, we're going to do a combination of Sunkissed and Begonia. I'm going to start with Sunkissed. Just gonna kind of randomly color them in. I am gonna focus just on my little brushes for this. These are such small flowers that I'm not too worried about gradation or anything. I just want to get color in there. Okay. Now this is another one where the little 1/4 inch brushes probably would have gotten more color in there. But when you're using bigger brushes like this, if you pounce, sometimes you can get the color into those small areas a little bit better. There. There's no real rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. I'm just kind of doing like every other. Oh, almost put that in Begonia. That wouldn't have been good. I love Sunkissed too, Catherine. It's one of my favorites. Such a pretty color. Okay. Good on Sunkissed. Let's close that up and just give it a gentle clean here. And let's finish up with Begonia and the rest of those little flowers. All right, there we go. Okay, focus. Most of the Begonia flowers are real tiny. Okay, there we go. That is our image. So let's peel for the final reveal and look at how pretty that turned out. It just feels almost like Beauty and the Beast or kind of fairy tale-ish, Tinkled maybe. I just think that's so pretty. I know, Elise, I did not use coral reef. Sometimes I branch out. All right, I am going to set some things aside. So I have some room here. I will clean my stencils a little more extensively when we're done. Let's go ahead and we're going to do some die cutting. So I am going to start by die cutting out the arch and the sentiment. Oh, that's okay, Sherry. The great thing about this is the replay will be available right when I click end live stream. So you can catch up, see what you missed. Kind of a bugger when life gets in the way of the fun stuff, right? Okay, so I am just taking my time to make sure this is nice and lined up. This is one where I am unsure. I'm not sure if I need a bubble mailer for this one. So I'm going to try it without it first. If it doesn't cut all the way through, I can just come back to it and add the bubble mailer and recut. But I'm going to see if it will work without one. There is some leftover tape on that. I want that off there. There we go. Maybe. I just don't want it to go off the side. There we go. And I think, let me see if the die fits for cutting the sentiment out at the same time. If it doesn't, I can just add it. Oh, it should fit. Perfect. We should be able to cut this in one nice swoop through my machine here. Elise is asking me, how do you keep the tiny flowers from being oversaturated when colored with the stencils, but making sure there's full coverage? Small brushes are a big help, Elise. You'll notice I chose a lighter orange because those tend to blend a bit heavier. And then the begonia was, I didn't do as big of things, so it wasn't going to get oversaturated. And then it's also, I don't oversaturate my brush either. So you'll notice I only just lightly tapped on my ink surface when I did that. And that just allowed for nice, even coverage on my flowers. Hopefully that answered your questions. Alrighty, let's run this through my machine and I will be right back with the final results. Hello, two friends just joining us. We're so glad you're here. All right, let's see if this cut first things first. I think it did. Actually, I might run it through one more time, just the opposite way, just to give it one more little quick run. I know, Sherry, it fit just right in there. Gotta love when that happens. All right. Oh yeah, it cut just fine. A little extra run through, I think, is the perfect touch. I'm always the worst at getting them out when they have all of this extra stuff here. That's perfect. Okay, so look at these. Let's pop out the little chads in the middle. Look at how fantastic that is. Oh, so pretty. All right, then this one has some of those little chads as well. Let's get those all popped out. I love those little middle pieces that cut out. I just think it's such a nice added detail. It allows some, anything that you might put underneath it to poke through and be visible through. I just love it. It's just such a good added detail. I apologize. Oh, that came on just really fast. My goodness, look at how stunning that is, you guys. Ah, that's so pretty. Just love it. All right, let me get these off my desk here. So I am going to test something out today. We are really good on time, so I'm glad just because I want to see how one of our cover plate dies looks cut from glitter cardstock, some of our glitter cardstock. And then I want to see what it looks like underneath, but it's possible it might be a little much. So I'm going to reserve the right to redo it if I don't love it or I don't love how it turns out. So just a fair warning there. I may use this next part, but I may not. Right. There we go. That one little stubborn guy. Okay, so I am still gotta find it. Maybe. Where did they go? Pardon me while I search for the next product I want to use. I kind of have stuff located everywhere. Oh, it's behind me. Okay, so I am still pretty obsessed with the Charming Stitched floral cover plate that we came out with 2 releases ago. So in the Here For You release, the same as the Sentiment that we used. And what I have found is our rose gold glitter cardstock is like a perfect match for that blush foil that I used. So I want to see what the Charming Stitched Florals die, how it looks die cut into glitter cardstock. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if it will show up very well in the rose gold. So we're just going to try it. We might as well. If we don't love it, that's okay. We can grab some white cardstock cut it from that, and maybe ink one. We've got some options. So one thing I do know is that I like this cut better when you use the bubble mailer technique. So I have some bubble mailer here. And I'm just going to trim it down to size. Oh, I'm a little off camera. Sorry about that. And then we'll tape it into place. Right, I agree. Experimenting is fun, for sure. And you know what? If I don't love it, it's okay. But who knows? Maybe it will be beautiful and worth the experiment. Okay, so cutting into a bubble mailer. And I will be right back with it, and we are going to see how it looks. That's funny, Louise. A brand ambassador. That's a great term. All right, let's just see. Nice reveal here. Ooh, you know, it's pretty. It's subtle. You can't see it as much straight on, but when you look at it at an angle, it's actually really lovely. And let me see. And it's actually, I know it's really bold, but I think I kind of love it. I think I'm gonna keep it, friends. I know it's a little bit bolder than what I normally do. We're gonna slap a sentiment over it too, so that is going to cover some up as well, which will help, I think, with how bold that is. But I do really like how that looks actually. And I love, it is like a perfect, it is a perfect match for that blush foil. Oh, yes, Kenry is mentioning, is reminding everybody that we did open registration for our February 2025 Create and Connect event. So that is open right now if you want to join us. Now the options are a little bit different this time. There's not different registrations based on if you're from the US or international. It's all together now. But we do have the two types of events options. There's the main kit where basically it's the stamping product. And then we have another option that's a little bit more expensive, but it has the hot foil add-on. So you have a beautiful collection of additional hot foil products to go with that. And you'll get a little bit of additional instruction using the hot foil products as well. So be sure to pick the correct option based on your preference, because we can't change that after the fact. So make sure you select the correct one. And we hope that you guys will join us in February for our first event of 2025. Okay, we are officially done die cutting. We are to the assembly stage. So I pre-cut and folded a card base already. Got tape everywhere. And I did pre-cut a couple of additional layers of the sentiment just to make it a little bit more sturdy. Yes. And I say, I'm so used to saying hot foiling, but the hot foil product or the press plate add-on focuses on both. It's not just hot foiling, it's also letterpress. All right. Liz, we actually have changed to pretty much only releasing press plates. But we still, of course, we still have current hot foil plates, which we aren't going to convert those to press plates. So anything that has a current hot foil plate will stay that way, but anything in the future that will be a press plate. There's like a little bit of glue in there. There we go. All right, that's a little bit more sturdy. And someone mentioned that they couldn't join live. But the great thing about our events is the replay is always available. So even if you can't join us live that very weekend, you can still order the event kit. A lot of these products are going to remain exclusive to these events, so keep that in mind. Many of the products you won't be able to get afterwards. And you can always come back and watch all of the classes and all of the fun on replay. So that's the great thing about virtual events, friends, is even if you can't do it live, you can still participate in the group and you can do the projects and the classes at your own pace and when it works best for you. Okay. I did not bring any clear blocks with me, so I'm gonna have to grab maybe my cutting plates to help this set in place once I have it nice and aligned to the card. Because it takes a little bit to get a big panel like this glued down. Oh, wait, I must have just cut this funky. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me grab, you know what? I'm gonna grab my glimmer plates real quick. So while I add foam tape, painstakingly add foam tape to the back of the arch, I am going to help this set into place like that. We'll shove it off to the side there a little bit. Now, of course, I do want to pop up my arch on top of that. So I'm going to add foam strips to the back. Gotta find my scissors here. Okay. So this part might be a little boring, so we can definitely chat while I add foam tape to all the things here. My 19-year-old Cocker Spaniel is snoring in the background. Zoom probably mutes that all out, but it is kind of funny to listen to her. Sherry Brown, the main add-on kit or the main kit for the February event has no better presser or hot foiling. It has no press plates. So that is the event that's for you if you don't hot foil or butter press. Right. Sorry, this is where I'm a little quiet. All right, thank you. Yeah, we get asked a lot, how did you do it? How'd you get her to 19? And I don't know. We fed her, took her to the vet when she needed to. I don't know. She's just we got our Yorkie to 18 and a half and Sadie is 19. She's definitely, every day is a gift with her for sure. There are some days where I'm like, oh boy, am I gonna have to make the call? But she seems to rally. So we'll see. Definitely every day with her now is definitely a gift. All right, just to reiterate, Sherry, there is a main kit that does not have any press plates or anything in it. It is stamps, stencils, and dies. And that kit is so for people that don't have a better press or a hot foil system, the main kit is the one that you would go with. You'll still have classes, instruction, all of the good stuff for the main kit. There is instruction and such for both items. So just to clarify on that. That's okay, Jane. Glad you're able to join for a bit. Watching on replay is perfect. And then if you have these products, you can join along with me. and craft along. Exactly. Yeah, I know. I kind of painstakingly added foam tape to this, but we got to get into those corners. I don't want anything to sag. So, I mean, I could have cut the die a few more times from cardstock, but that would have taken forever. So, foam tape it is. All right, I think I got, oh, there's one. I think I got everything. Right, we're good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Roberta. Yeah, it's one of those things that I dread the most currently. But, you know, some point it is inevitable. All right, that should be good. Okay. I know. Wrangle some things over here. Okay, so we have our really lovely glitter backdrop. We are going to add the arch over top. Now, the great thing about this arch is it beautifully fits within an A2 card base. I love that. I love that it's not quite edge to edge, so it shows off a little bit. It gives itself a little bit of a matte, basically. Okay. There we go. Look at how pretty that is. I'm going to kind of fluff the little inner flowers a bit, just to give them a little extra something. Ooh, definitely break it out and use it, Catherine. It's so fun. You can, if you have our dye inks, you can use our inks with the letterpress, and it's so pretty. So definitely break it out and try it. It's pretty easy. I know that it seems like a lot, but it's actually pretty darn easy to use, and I think you're going to love it. All right. I think I like the sentiment down at the bottom. This is rose gold glitter cardstock. Um, so it comes in a separate pack, and it also comes in the metallics sampler. I think it's called sampler, or maybe just the metallics pack, which has all of our different metallic colors. And if you foil, it matches beautifully with blush foil, the blush foil roll. That's a mouthful. And yes, I'm just adding dimension to everything, friends. That's what I do. You could always glue some of this directly down if you didn't want to have as much dimension, if you want to make this card yourself, but want it to be a little bit more post office friendly. Metallics pack, thank you. It's in the metallics pack, and there's also an individual pack for rose gold. All right. You are always loved. I don't want to hide that big, beautiful flower in the middle. So we're going to put this at the bottom. Look at how pretty that is. So much shimmer and shine. Okay, so finally, we are going to add we're going to add a little bit of clay. I had initially let's see. Let me see here. I had initially put the pixie dust, oh goodness, the pixie dust ombre glitter drops on here. I may change my mind. I may go with something a little bit more neutral. And hopefully I just feel like this might be a lot with everything else we have going on. Oh, wrong side. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change my mind. So pixie dust, ombre glitter drops are what are linked currently. I think I'm changing my mind a little bit though. I'm gonna go with something a little bit more neutral. Okay, let's see here. I think I might just go with just some clear drops. There is a lot going on this card. So Let's just go with some nice clear ones. All right, the thing I love about the clear drops is if you give them a little shimmy shake on your tray, they flip right over. Doesn't work on all of them. Definitely does not work on the glitter drops. Those ones are a little bit too thin, but it does work. Oh yeah, that's so much better. I like just a little bit of neutral pop that this is gonna add. Okay. Wow, we did great on time here, friends. I'm normally like the last minute Lucy, but I am managed my thing. Oh yes, my little bling boxes. A good friend of mine, she her husband 3D prints those. So they're great for traveling, so I don't have to bring all of the little envelopes with me. Let's see. Not sure. Let me see what I think. I may. It's probably good I left myself a little bit of extra time because I may fuss around with embellishments here. Like that. And let's see, maybe just a little bit down by here. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do a little trio up here as well in the arch. I think that'll be really pretty. Like that. You know what? I'm going to omit the ones here. And I'm going to just do the same thing right here. I think that'll be a little bit easier to see and just a nice little touch. Look at that. I think that's perfect. Okay. Okay, let's put these away. You just have to glue these in place and we are done with today's live. I hope you guys enjoyed this blush rose gold phenomenon coming together here. It's very sparkly, right up my alley. It's a great way to tell someone they're loved, right? Send them some sparkle. Roberta is asking, on reinkers, is it best to store them out of any light? You know, Roberta, I'm going to be honest, I don't know like the scientific answer to that, but I know that I don't store them in light. I never have. I've always made sure they've been in a drawer. And now they're in, we have our beautiful pink ink refill or reinker case. And I store them in that. So they're definitely not in any type of sunlight that way. Kinneri may pop in with a better answer, not sure, but I think my non-scientific answer would be it would be best if they were not stored in sunlight. Okay. Oh, Vicky, this is our dual embellishment tool. It's got the craft pick on one end, which has a ball tip edge, so it doesn't hurt as bad if you accidentally get yourself. And on the other end is the wax tip. The elements that you see that are this shade of brass, that's actually brass. So it's nice and sturdy. The only part of the plastic is a little bit in the middle that has those cute, pretty jewels in there. And you can find this under our Studio Essentials collection, but it's also linked in the product list in my video description. So you can find it there as well. Well, that is today's cards, friends. I hope you enjoyed how it came together. I think this turned out so pretty, so fun. All right, I am going to get the camera flipped around, and I will wait for Kinnery to pick a winner of the $15 gift card code. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. I really am loving how this shimmery fun card turned out. Yep, and definitely lots of things that you can put underneath the arch. We've got lots of cover plate dies that would look beautiful underneath it. I'm still a little obsessed with that newer charming stitched florals cover plate die that I used today. I use it a lot. So you see, if you check out my Instagram page at all, I've been using it quite frequently. So, but it's such a pretty one. And hopefully, if you have it in your stash, you will create this card as well. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed today. All right, congratulations to Sherry Browning. You are today's $15 gift card code winner. You can email me. My email is leah@pinkfreshstudio.com. There's no H on the end of my name, so LEA@pinkfreshstudio.com. And give me about 2 to 3 business days to reply back with that code. And then you can use it on whatever you want in our online shop. All right, friends. Well, that is everything that I have for you today. Our next live is actually on Saturday. We've got Craft Hour with Jeff Lindbergh. His wonderful guest is Tiffany Price Rossum. Maybe I've said that terribly, but so join us, same time, same place on Saturday. So 12 noon Central on Saturday for Craft Hour with Jeff and Tiffany. It's sure to be a fun time. I'll be moderating in the comments, and we look forward to you guys joining us then. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and hopefully we'll see you Saturday. If not, we'll see you back here next Tuesday. Bye, friends.